Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today, let us complete the subject of the characteristics of Chara, Sthira, Dwiswabhava and the mixing of these particular elements with Agni Tattva, Bhu Tattva, um, Vayu Tattva, and Jala Tattva. That means Eri, Agni Tattva means fiery, Bhu means earthly, Vayu means airy, and Jala means watery signs. So we need to mix it and then try to understand what actually a dual sign means and how it will actually react or give results to the native in his lifetime, how it actually impacts on his behavior and character. This is very important to understand. So, a dual sign, we have four dual signs. One is Gemini, the first one, that is the third sign. The sixth sign, that is Virgo. The ninth sign, which is Sagittarius, and the 12th sign, which is Pisces. So, from the Kalapurusha Lagna, that is Kalapurusha Rashi, that is Aries, we have four dual signs. So, what is a dual sign? How actually we call it a dual sign? So, what is duality? So, the part which is towards the Sthira Rashi, that is towards, for example, let me take up Gemini. So, the part that is 15 degrees which is towards Sthira Rashi, that is Vrishab Rashi, that is Taurus, is said to act as though it is a Sthira Rashi. That is, from 0 degrees Gemini to 15 degrees Gemini, it will act as though it is stable. From 15 degrees Gemini to the other part, that is 30 degrees Gemini, which is close to Cancer, which is Karkataka Rashi, it will act like Chara Rashi, that is movable. So, because there is a shift from, it's not exactly, that as a 1 degree Gemini will be more fixed than a 14 degree Gemini. A 16 degree Gemini will be less movable than a 20th, 29th degree Gemini. So that means it keeps ranging. So the duality of the sign is more prominent in the middle part, that is, let us say 2.5 degrees either side, so 5 degrees in the middle part, less 6 degrees. Usually we keep it as 6, we divide it by 5 avasthas, balya, kaumarya, yavana, vruddhapya, mrityu. So yavana avastha, that is 6 degrees in the middle, is very important, that is 12 to 18. So this duality will be like, I am trying to do something, but I would want to do something else. I'm thinking of something, I'm thinking of something also. So it is like you don't get fixed. It looks like as though the person is distracted. But if a person with these characteristics can meditate, can concentrate and focus, he will be able to do multiple jobs at the same time. So that is the strength of these four uh, prominent Rashis: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So, Gemini is a Aries sign, because when we start from Aries, it is Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Jala. The same thing happens from Cancer: Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Jala. Sorry, not from Cancer, from Leo: Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Jala. And the same thing starts once again from Sagittarius: Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Jala. So, here Gemini is an Aries sign. Air can suddenly become still, stagnant. very dangerous. And air can also become very windy, hurricanes, very dangerous once again. So these people usually want to do too many things, and two TWO2 things are the minimum. So they always want to be in two boats, which is once again the most dangerous thing, because you cannot first of all, here it is in two on two planes, because it is a airy sign. I can't tell boat. They want to be in two places, two things, two characteristics, two ways of life. Very difficult for these people to stick to one particular job. But one thing is very important with Gemini being a dual sign. These people even don't stick to their regrets. If they do anything, they fail something, they will remember those things, because when somebody highlights those things, then they will go into it. But they themselves would not want to go back, sit and tell that I am depressed, I am getting caught in this. No, I want to get through. I will go to the nostalgic things and always think about the past, and going into depression. No, they don't do that. They leave it. That is the strength of an airy sign and also a dual sign. These people are sometimes very careless and sometimes are extremely careful. So this also is the duality. Careless because the aloofness, they get carried away in their teenage. They do masti. They masti in the sense, it's a Hindi word. So they enjoy their life. They become extremely serious when it comes to the stability of air when it stays in one place, and they become intimidated, fearful when the air starts to become a wind and starts blowing erratically. So the nakshatras in Gemini, Mrigashira 3, 4, Ardra 1, 2, 3, 4, and Punarasu 1, 2, and 3. So these are the quarters of the nakshatras placed in Gemini. And we can see that most the center part of the nakshatras are placed with Aradra, that is Rahu. Rahu is smoke. So when smoke is with wind, a, a one direction wind can take the smoke away from that place. A multi direction wind will make it confusing. A stagnant wind will make it suffocating. Please try to understand. These are the problems which Gemini ascendants will go through. Let us go through Virgo. These people, because it is the sixth house, they can take up challenges like anything. They are the most toughest people who can do routine job one day after the other, tough jobs one day after the other, without saying I am tired. These people, though it's a thankless job, they will do it because they have agreed to do it. So they stick to a particular work and they are very adaptable. They're fantastic people to work with, and also highly skilled people. And this skill is because one part is attached to Leo, the other part is attached to a business house, that is Libra, business sign. So it's a beautiful dual sign. You can understand that they cannot be challenged with their individuality. They will always try to maintain it, and they would also want to be in the forefront of the limelight. They want to do business. So this is a beautiful the placement of an earthy sign, and still it is a dual sign. One thing is dangerous for these people is when they lose the job. That is as though the earthquake happened. The dual sign, it started to move. It's unstable now. It's like quicksand, it's like landslides, it's like earthquake. So these people would always want to be grounded and firm and stable, but very difficult to be stable because the second part of this sign is now attached to a movable sign. So it's a little tough. Let us go into Sagittarius. The first part, that is Sthira Rashi, is towards Scorpio. The Chara Rashi is towards Capricorn. So these people they are very family oriented people. Sagittarius is a fiery sign. They would love to be happy, blissful, go into spirituality, love these discussions, conversations, even a small debate. They would not want arguments because though it's a fiery planet, it's more of a knowledge, of fire of knowledge. It is not the fire of Aries or fire of Leo, which is egoistic. Aries is like a forest fire. So this is knowledge. It actually spreads. So these people are humorous. They are witty, calculative, and sometimes when the fire goes out of control, it is just about to die off, or it is just about, it's shaking. When the lamp is shaken, you can see that the light is not that much. When it is stable, you can see that the lamp gives out good light, but when the lamp is shaken, you can see that the whole room is with shadows dancing. That is the time when these people lose their stability. So then they will try to hold their position by trying to do anything. Sometimes that is why Sagittarius, who is a very stable, extremely hardworking, they don't even bother of night shifts, they don't bother of any job, they can do any job. Whether there is a hard smell there, whether there is a hard environment there, it is hot, it is dirty, they go there, they do their service. Extremely service oriented people. But when it shakes and the light starts to flicker, these people lose their focus because the light starts to flicker. That is, the lamp starts to shake. They become manipulative. They want to, it's like a drowning man holding a blade of grass, thinking that he will get saved. So they will try everything in their strength to survive. So that is nothing wrong if you take it in that way, but still, sometimes this, if it becomes a regular practice, they start to understand that they can become manipulative. Pisces, a watery sign and a dual sign, is attached to Aries, a fiery sign, and Chararashi, which is extremely aggressive. And it is attached to Aquarius, a very calm, docile, peaceful Rashi, which is a Sthira Rashi. And Pisces is a huge ocean. It is represented by fishes. It's clean water. It's beautiful water, but it's ocean water. So, salt water and drinkable water, purified water, all this is seen from Cancer because sun, moon represents salt. It's also a ocean kind of a thing, but this, let us take this as a vast, beautiful lake, like the five lakes in US, big lakes, big reservoirs, huge places where people can actually live and live happily. And this is a dual sign, minded. That means this is not a stagnant water, and if it becomes a stagnant, that is towards Aquarius, then Pisces will feel that their life is not moving ahead. They would always want to move. And what mistake they do is leave the task and take up another one. Leave this, take up another one. They have a lot of motivation because of Aries in the front. So they would want to, uh, do something, and in the speed of doing the other job, they would not complete the present one. So, people who are having a disturbed uh, Pisces ascendant, they become very self centered, they sometimes become carefree, they are always searching for the identity. It's like water searching for a shape. Good in execution of plans, no doubt, but move to the new task before even winding up the previous one. That is what is very important. Emotionally, they are very unstable, very what you call watery in nature. It's like the water which is being rocked. You get the waves and the undulations, though below somewhere there is some stability. So they would always want to be very meditative, peaceful. These people are very spiritualistic. It's a dual sign and it's a watery sign. These people are very spiritualistic, and the central part of Pisces extremely calm, very generous, highly oriented towards service, charity, donations. These people do very good in their life. So this is how we go ahead and understand what actually the lagnas of a particular tattva, that is Agni tattva, Prithvi tattva, Vayu tattva, Jala tattva, in correlation with Chara, Sthira, Dwiswabhava Rashis give. So this all depends on the lagna, the rashi, the placement of the lagna lord, the moon, number of planets, which are more into a chara rashi, which are more into a sthira rashi. You need to see the whole chart to understand that, and only then which planet is the period of which planet is particularly running, whether it is a sthira rashi oriented planet, if the planet itself is a very stable planet. All this will make a lot of difference in the particular time period and event of a native's life. So thank you very much for today's class.